If you're avoiding work right now or procrastinating by watching this video, you get an exemption, but only for this video. Anyways, in the next 5 or 10 minutes, I'm gonna explain 3 procrastination skills to practice every single day. Let me jump straight into it, or should I do it later? Number 1, get rid of the idea of perfectionism. I feel like perfectionism goes hand in hand with procrastination. We have this idea of how something is going to turn out or look, but when it's pen to paper, paintbrush to canvas, or fingers to a keyboard, you just can't produce that same level of quality that's in your head. The thought of starting a new task may also be scary because it's never going to turn out the way we want it to. And this is just so frustrating for so many people because we feel like our work needs to be perfect when in reality, it just doesn't. In the past year, I've had to get rid of this idea of perfectionism and perfectionism leading to procrastination and just be happy and content with learning along the way. So a way that I fix this is by probably putting out work that I'm 60 to 80% happy with. And while I'm never gonna be fully happy with my work, I can't reach perfection because this is just this unattainable standard and there's always things I can improve on. I also don't think there's anything wrong with setting high standards, but I don't beat myself up if I don't reach those high standards because at the end of the day, I'm a human and humans simply aren't perfect. So you really need to get rid of this idea of perfectionism in your head and not allow perfectionism to turn into procrastination. I'll be frank with you for 1 second. The work that you put out is never going to be perfect, but that's okay. You might think a piece of work that you've completed recently is near perfection or perfect, but look back on it in 1 or 2 years, and I can guarantee that you'll probably laugh at the idea of you thinking it was near perfection because you'll have improved so much within 1 or 2 years. Number 2, don't entertain your procrastination. A huge thing with procrastination is that when we procrastinate, we allow our wasted time to be filled up with entertaining tasks like watching YouTube videos, scrolling social media, or just anything other than the current task at hand. Don't entertain your procrastination and force yourself to become bored. So if you're procrastinating work, fine, you're allowed to procrastinate, but you're not allowed to do anything else. You can't go on your phone or any technology, you can't watch TV or go outside, you can't message friends or annoy your siblings, you just have to sit there and do nothing. Yes, nothing. After a while of sitting there and doing nothing, you're likely to become bored, and this is when you should probably do the task that you're currently procrastinating. This works because when you're sitting down doing nothing, your brain's kind of hey, we should probably actually do the task. Or you'll just get so bored that doing the task is better than doing nothing at all. I feel like a huge reason of why we procrastinate is because in this instance, there's a billion other better things to be doing than the current task at hand. Whether it be an assignment for school or uni, a task with a deadline for work, be bored, sit down in silence, and you'll come to the realization that doing something is a lot better than just doing nothing. Number 3, build up momentum. As a mega procrastinator in the past, a thing that's worked great for me is to build up momentum like a snowball rolling down a hill. I oftentimes just can't jump into a big task and I need to slowly ease into it and start building up a bit of momentum. First things first, I make sure to break down a big task into much more manageable steps or actions to follow. Oftentimes, when we look at a task as a whole, it can be really daunting and create this procrastination loophole. However, if we just do a small task to begin with, this can create this unstoppable momentum towards completing that said task. Now, for example, let's just say that I'm creating a YouTube video. I can look at it as a whole and think, shit, this is going to be impossible. Or I can break it into many smaller chunks which allow me to propel myself towards the end goal of publishing it. This is everything that goes towards building a YouTube video. It's a lot, but when broken into chunks, the momentum starts rolling. Now, let's just say that I'm editing a random video and it's quite a daunting process to begin with because I have 90 minutes of raw footage that I need to convert into a 6 or 8 minute video. My thoughts may be that I just can't handle this pressure and I just want to procrastinate and lie in bed. But no, I really need to get this video out in the next couple days. So instead of tackling that 90 minutes of unedited footage, I'll just do something small and easy to begin with. I decided to fix the audio. This simple task takes me 5 minutes, but it's a step necessary for getting towards the end goal. After 5 minutes, I've started to warm up, but I'm not ready to tackle the footage yet. That's fine, I'll fix the colors of the video instead. So I fix the colors and that's another 5 minutes, but nonetheless, a necessary step towards completing the video. Now this momentum is built and I'm ready to start tackling the footage. In literally 10 minutes, I've warmed myself up to a point where I'm ready to actually tackle the bigger task at hand. You wouldn't run a marathon without doing any preparation or any warming up first. So you shouldn't do the same with a big task that you need to complete, especially if you often procrastinate on it. Start with something small and let that momentum and that motivation grow into something super productive. So these are the 3 procrastination skills I'd practice every single day. If you're a major procrastinator, I'd highly recommend these tips. I've used them daily or at least weekly, and they've had a big impact towards my productivity.